expressed on the following broadcast do not necessarily reflect those of KHLT, Take 12 Radio, or our affiliates. The opinions on this show should not be considered as medical, psychological, or professional advice and are those of the host, co-host, and guest. Take 12 Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting are not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship.
When the static of life fills your brain and the world seems a little too insane, just twist that dial, don't hesitate. There's a haven where good vibes await. Tune in and Take 12 for some joy and cheer. It's the sound of hope coming in crystal clear.
Oh my gosh.
Recovery talk, the music's so grand, a beacon of light, a helping hand.
All right, welcome to the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show. We got shenanigans going on already. Really, if you guys aren't subscribed on our YouTube feed, you really need to be. You miss so much by not watching the video. Welcome to the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show with shenanigans galore. The weekly wine, probably the most interesting one I've ever done. The Make Believe Take 12 Recovery Radio Orchestra. And the topic, uncover, discover, and recover. I'm going to talk about the guy who kind of coined that phrase and what that all means as we share in this episode of the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show with myself and Roger McDiarmid.
Some joy and cheer. It's the sound of hope coming in crystal clear. Recovery talk, the music so grand, a beacon of light, a helping hand.
Yeah, Roger McDiarmid coming to us from Huntington Beach, California. There he is, waving. Show that coffee mug again.
Are you sure you want to see it? It's very dangerous.
I know. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? It's a rattlesnake, for those of you who can't see it, and the rattler actually moves. It's like spring-loaded, and it moves. And ooh, look at that. Look at the fangs on that thing. Wow, that thing is really cool. Yeah. Do you actually drink out of that?
I just got it from a friend Saturday night. A sponsee gave it to me, and I was like, that is so cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness sakes. So welcome to the show,
Excuse me for a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, it's that time of the show where the Monty Man whimpers and whines about something he's powerless over.
Goody.
It's the Monty Man's Weekly Whine.
Monty Man, take a look around.
I love it.
Life's too short to let the blues bring you down. We can't do it. What's the use of the grind? Join the dance of life. Leave your worries behind.
That's right. And of course, we always have the baby, specifically for Tony J. Hi, Tony, by the way. She listens.
Hi, Tony.
She tunes into every show. Tony. Okay. If I can get through this without cracking up or falling off my chair, it'll be a miracle. I don't know that this is a whine or just a share of the most unbelievable proportions. Definitely Tina Kotek. Now, she is the governor of Oregon. So you already know this is going to go sideways. She announced a $500 fine for unauthorized splashing on Oregon rivers. Wait, it gets better. In a bold new effort to restore order and tranquility to Oregon's waterways, Governor Tina Kotek unveiled legislation this week that would impose a $500 fine for any unauthorized splashing on rivers across the state. quote, too many Oregonians think they can just hop on an inner tube and recklessly thrash water around like it's the Wild West, Kotek said during a press conference. This isn't a playground. Our rivers are delicate ecosystems that deserve respect and minimal turbulence. Okay, I have to pause there. This person, I can't even call her governor. This person has absolutely no concept of rapids, of natural turbulence that occurs on a river. There is natural turbulence constantly. And by the way, us human beings are part of the entire whole. It's not like the planet and us. The planet, there's a planet, and then we're like aliens or something. No, we're all part of the same planet, or all part of the system. She goes on, it goes on to say, under the proposed law, check, this is just unbelievable. Under the proposed law, all splashing activities included, but not limited to, cannonballs, water fights, and accidental paddle flings. You know what a paddle fling is? It's like when you splash your buddy with your paddle.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Would require a state-issued splash permit.
Oh, my gosh.
The permit, priced at $49 annually, would authorize controlled splashing in designated areas only. Violators caught splashing without a permit would face a $100 fine, mandatory river etiquette classes, and potential confiscation of their inflatable watercraft. Is this the etiquette class? No, this is an AA meeting, sir. Oh, can I get my slip signed anyway? The legislation also includes funding for a fleet of money for a fleet of river enforcement specialists, or RES units, who will patrol popular float spots to monitor for unsanctioned splashes. Officers will be equipped with waterproof citation printers and GoPro body cams to document the offenses. There's still more. There's more. We're not trying to ruin anyone's fun, Kotek reassured. We're simply ensuing what water activities align with the state's commitment to safety, harmony, and revenue collection. There it is. There it is. Revenue collection. Reactions to the proposal have been mixed. Yeah. Environmental groups praise the effort, while rivergoers expressed confusion. Yeah, I would say so. So I'm allowed to get wet at all? Asked Eugene resident Travis McMillan. What happens if I trip and splash accidentally? Do I owe Tina $500? When asked about such concerns, a spokesperson clarified, all unintentional splashes must be reported within 72 hours of the Oregon Water Activity Compliance Bureau to avoid penalties. The bill is expected to pass easily in the legislature, where lawmakers are reportedly considering an additional amendment requiring helmets with people who use pool noodles. You have got to. When Marcia shared this with me, my wife, who has worked in government for many, many years and just recently retired after 23 years working for the county of Lynn County. When she shared this with me, I was like, this can't be real. This has got to be fake news, man. This has got to be a joke, right? So she did some digging, and sure enough, it's true. Okay, so if it's a revenue thing, you're going to hire splash guards or splash officers? You're going to pay them, and they're going to be working for the government, so they're probably going to get some pretty good pay, pretty good health coverage, and that kind of thing. What? to hang out at the parks and just make sure people are getting cited for splashing. And let me ask you this, listeners: if it's a minor under your care that's doing the splashing, does the minor get cited, or do you, as the parent, get cited? I mean, it deserves the blue mist. The blue mist shows up when something that is so ridiculous cannot be explained. There's the blue mist for those of you watching on the video feed. Roger, you've got to have some comments about this, right? You just...
I am completely blown away that could be true. I have never heard of something so ridiculous. So rivers and lakes are not a place for recreation?
And
and
they're supposed to be tranquil.
Monty, you've outdone yourself. Marcia, I cannot believe that a state governor would actually take the time and effort to get a law passed and hire splash police with citations. I wonder what the genesis of this, what caused this to happen? Did somebody actually complain about splashing?
Well, you know,
spend too much time trying to make sense out of nonsense.
There it is. It's so.
I'm flabbergasted.
I gotta tell you though, ought we not be surprised? I mean, if you look at the crazy spending that's been exposed as of late, the things that our tax dollars were going to, that we've found out about, it's criminal. It's just criminal.
This is criminal.
And it's been going on for years. And now they're not even hiding it. And this kind of thing, Miss Kotek, are you sober? I'm just beside myself.
Not only am I amazed at that, but I would be overwhelmingly amazed that the state Senate Congress would pass such a law.
If this passes, it's going to make a big splash.
Oh my gosh! I can only imagine how many legitimate issues need to be addressed in the state of Oregon that could utilize this kind of.
Oh Lord,
funding.
have mercy!
I can't.
But you got to remember, these are the same people that invited, not just permitted, but invited rapists, child molesters, drug dealers into our country and paid for their residency.
And their health care.
These are the same people. These are the same people, after watching videos, and many of them actually being in downtown Portland during the riots where Portland was burning down, made the statement, these are peaceful protests. These are the same people. The incompetency, it is not, this has nothing to do with politics. This has everything to do with pure stupidity, corruption, and evil.
Yep, I agree.
And I don't care what side of the fence you're on. This is just, but there you go.
Wow.
There you go. And if you don't laugh about this, I had to laugh. I'm just, it's too funny. I mean, it's too sick and sad to lose sleep over. It just is. So you got to laugh about it.
Yes.
It's.
I'm going to pretend for the rest of the day I never heard that, because that just. Yeah. You're exactly right.
My mama used to say, that's just horse manure. Oh, my goodness sakes. All right, well, there you go. There's the weekly wine. Yeah.
Week after week, what's the use of the grind? Join the dance of life, leave your worries behind.
Okay, listen, have you ever felt like you're... Look it up, listeners. It's... Have you ever felt like you were stuck in your recovery? Just kind of like things are getting kind of dry. Well, they're supposed to be dry, right? Things are getting kind of bleh. You're just kind of feeling bleh. You know, you've been going to meetings and meetings and meetings. Maybe you've been going to too many of them. Maybe you haven't plugged in back into society again. I don't know. But you're just kind of bleh. I highly recommend 12 Essential Insights for Emotional Sobriety by our good friend and Take 12 Recovery Radio contributor, Dr. Alan Berger. Getting your recovery unstuck. This book has been not only an inspiration, but a major help in my own recovery. And I know you'll enjoy it as well. It's an easy read. It is practical. And I am telling you, it will enhance your 12-step experience if you're a 12-stepper. Even if you're not a 12-stepper, just life in general. If you feel stuck, check out this book. abphd.com is the website to get your autograph copy of that. All right. The topic, uncover, discover, and recover. All right. Well, John Bradshaw was a world-renowned educator, counselor, and motivational speaker and author. He was one of the leading figures in the fields of addiction recovery and family systems, and around the concept of toxic shame, very well known. John was chosen by his peers as one of the 100 most influential writers on emotional health in the 20th century. His best-selling books and sold-out lectures and seminars changed the lives of millions and benefited so many, including myself. One of the phrases that he was most known for was the statement, "We must uncover, discover, and recover our lives." The first time I ever heard that, Roger, I was like, whoa, that is just awesome. I mean, and he went through, Dr. Bradshaw went through the whole process of uncovering. You can't, if you're not aware of something or you're not sure of it, but it's an underlying thing, but you just kind of like, what is under there? I mean, if you got a blanket and something's moving underneath it, I don't know about you, I want to know what's under there. But sometimes people don't. They don't want to know. They're afraid of what they might find, right? So let's talk about the uncover piece first as it relates to recovery from life-controlling issues in general. We're gonna play a cool song in between each of these, but let's talk about uncover. When you first got into recovery, were you ready to just uncover some of the stuff that was going on to find out what truly was happening, or were you hesitant?
Well, that's a great question. I was so done with my previous lifestyle and with alcohol and drugs. Once you start the journey of the steps, you're forced to uncover. I mean, first, it's a matter of accepting the truth and be willing and a little open-minded.
Yeah.
But as you do the steps and you get to step 4, it says, made a searching and fearless moral inventory. And I can genuinely tell you I had never done that in my life. So if you're doing the steps and following the program, you're forced to start uncovering and discovering the things that drove us to drink and use. And so I don't know that it was a conscious decision on my part, other than it was a direct result of following direction and doing the program. I was forced to, I mean, why was I the way I was? Why did I drink the way I drank? Why did I act and say the things that I did? And so you begin to pull the covers back, right? People talk about peeling the onion, one peel at a time, until you get to the heart of the issues. So I don't know that I knew that was a conscious thing, but following directions and doing what I was told and what other people said they did, it made sense. And I did it stubbornly, but I was a little bit willing. I was a little bit open-minded, and I had to learn how to be teachable. And when I did those things, I started to do that process. And it really was a matter of freeing myself from these things that were so deep-seated that I didn't even know I had. But for me, it was all about being selfish, self-seeking, and self-centered. And the more that I uncovered, the more that was the issue.
Did you have a realization that you were selfish before you?
It's been a constant. I had no concept, and I'm 44 years old when I got sober and clean.
Yeah.
I had no concept how selfish and self-centered I was.
Me either.
Every I say waking moment, but I think even when I was asleep, I heard that stupid line, all those cliches you hear when you first come into the rooms. I'm not much, but I'm all I think about. I went, that's stupid. But it wasn't stupid. As I listened and thought about it, I'm like, the fact that I had that comment was because all I thought about was me. And I thought that was silly. It wasn't silly. It was a fact. I was 100 everything I did and thought about was about me. And I had no idea how self-centered I was. And when I read that line in the book, self-centeredness has to be smashed or ultimately it will kill us. I never forgot that line. Never. It became one of the seminal points of recovering the whole process.
So I knew what was under those covers to a great degree. I wasn't sure I wanted to look at them. So for as long as I possibly could, I avoided it. Right? And one of the ways that I coped in avoiding it was to medicate, was to drink, or was to use, or was to run, or whatever, And just like you, when I finally ended up in the rooms of the 12-steppers and I actually hooked up with somebody that knew how to teach me how to apply and implement these steps, the covers started to get pulled back. And I wasn't pulling them back. God was pulling them back.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's time. You know what's under here. Now it's time to we need to have a chat, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I thought some of my behaviors, I thought that was normal. I mean, as far as my emotionalism, and we've talked about before how emotionally dependent I was on other people, what I thought they should feel about me. I thought that was normal. I thought everybody else was insensitive.
I thought the same way. I thought the way I drank, the way I acted, everything I did was somewhat normal. Until I got clean and sober and I realized, wow, there was nothing normal about the way I thought. There was nothing normal about the way I acted. And there certainly wasn't anything normal about the way I drank and used.
To this day, I don't understand, because you see it on TV shows and movies when somebody says, "Hey, would you like a drink?" "Hey, dude, it's not even noon." And I'm like, what's that got to do with anything? What?
Well, the answer for all of us was, well, it's noon somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, what's a time on my watch got to do with what? I'm not waiting around. What are you, nuts? Yeah. So uncovering, yeah, it's a big deal. So one of the things that I thought I was going to be this great entrepreneur, and I was going to invent something or accomplish something, right? And I was going to make lots of money, and yeah, I was just kind of, and everything, I had to kind of keep everything close to the chest, right? Because I didn't want anybody to take my stuff, kind of thing. So this song by our good friend Tommy Buddha, that he's singing here is called "You Can't Take It With You." And when I look back at it, not just money, but the old Monty, I wouldn't want to take him with me. I get why people didn't want to be around me. I didn't want to be around me. I wouldn't want to hang with that guy. So I want to remind the listeners that Tommy is got a brand new podcast called Buddha Time, and it comes out on Fridays right here at Take 12 Recovery Radio. It's a production of Take 12 Recovery Radio, and we love Tommy. It's all about positivity. But check out this song. It's a rock and bluesy jazz kind of thing. Here's Tommy Buddha. You can't take it with you. Tommy Buddha. Check out Buddha Time on Fridays here at take12radio.com. Can't take it with you, baby. Oh my gosh. All right, moving into discover. So we uncover, the thing about uncovering is you can't change what you don't acknowledge, right? And so the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous talks about being convinced. We got to be convinced of something before we can move in a direction to address it. And that's all involved in uncovering and becoming transparent and being honest with ourselves. And then we start discovering things. I knew it was under that blanket, but I didn't know there was a whole bunch of stuff I didn't know was there as well. And I was like, Roger, wait a minute. I just wanted to stop drinking, man. I mean, what do you want from me? Well, you may want to think about quitting smoking while you're at it. I'm like, what? No. And it was like 4 months after my last drink, I had my last cigarette. Why not? Right? And it wasn't too long after that where you couldn't smoke at meetings anyway, but there was this, there was that. And then I became more self-aware about my eating habits, but those were all like substance things, right? When I started discovering the stuff that was between my ears, it was quite an eye opener, and I realized how much damage, because the blanket was totally pulled back now, how much damage was in the wake of my behaviors and how many people I had hurt. That's hard stuff to face, right, Roger?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Facing the realities of as we call them, our character defects, was an interesting process. I just like the self-centeredness, I had no concept of really how broken I was mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. The whole thing. I didn't know what I didn't know. And the process to uncover with people who had been through the process was really helpful. And then when you see the benefits of that, like your friend said, John said, uncover, discover, recover. I used to say, or other people have said, uncover, discover, discard. I think part of it's discarding the old, the negative things, but then building on the positive aspects. And so, and that's the part of the recover. There's a scripture that I heard, and one of the pastors gave a talk at one of the men's retreats I went to. And with my mindset of uncover, discover, recover, or uncover, discover, discard, he used 2 Corinthians 10:5, which is where it says we tear down strongholds. And a stronghold is anything that we build up that blocks out God's will, God's sunlight. Yeah. And I went, wow. So he called it detect, define, destroy.
Ooh, I like that.
And I stole that immediately. I steal everybody's good thoughts and make them mine and pretend like I created them. You know how I am. But the uncover, discover, discard, or recover is good, but I really like detect, define what is part of your character defects, and then destroy it with the truth and the love and the power of God and the 12 steps.
Yeah.
And so that became part, but that all things that I've learned going through the process. My pastor also used to say, if you have to reveal to heal. And just those little comments, those little lines like that have powerful meaning behind them, I've adopted and sort of made it my constitution. You can't have secrets that are like, we never want to tell any. It's like, why? Why are you afraid of sharing something that was deep and dark and damaged your spirit and your soul and your emotions and your psyche? My sponsor had me spend time in the doctor's opinion because it was important to understand that we have this physical thing, we have these emotional things, we have a spiritual malady that fuels it all, but it requires an entire psychic change. And I went, what does that mean? Well, it means everything that makes us human, everything that is our human experience. And it says in the doctor's opinion, right? We don't recover emotionally, psychologically, physically until the spiritual malady is addressed. But we have to uncover.
Right.
We have to uncover first. We have to know
Yeah.
what it is that keeps us in bondage, that keeps our mind all screwed up. And if we're
Right.
afraid to share it and talk about it, that's a problem.
It festers, it stays, and it festers,
Yeah.
and it doesn't get better.
And I think it takes people
think it's
out.
worse.
I think it does.
Yeah.
It's like, and
Yeah.
why do you want to hold that a secret? When we talk to people, like when we go to Came to Believe, right, and we talk about doing the fifth step, it's like, what is it about your broken nature that you don't want to share? What do you think is so dastardly in your past that you can't open up and get it out? Because God has already forgiven you. You need to forgive you. And it's not a suggestion, it's a commandment. And
Yeah, I think what it is, though, again, it goes back to we focus so much on the symptom, right? That the symptom scares us, and so we don't get to the causes and conditions. It's like, I did this to so and so. Okay, that's an outward manifestation of something else that's going on.
Right.
We got to get to the thing that's going on that's deeper
Right.
inside.
Right.
And because what I found is that all these different behaviors that I did, all these different disgusting, really uncaring, self-centered stuff that I did, the root of all that was the same in every one of those different behaviors. So whether I stole from mama's purse, whether I vanished for 30 days at a time, whether I embezzled money from my boss, whatever I did, whether I, was spiritually, emotionally, physically abusive or whatever, they all had the same root cause. I had a God-shaped hole, and I was trying to fill
Yes.
it with Monty and not God. And until I got to the point where I was actually willing to work on that, the symptoms, they changed, but they were just as damaging. You know what I mean? I just jumped
Totally.
from one to the other, to the other, to the other.
Right.
And so uncovering that stuff and then discovering it, and there it was in my face. And I came to a place, Roger, where it was like, okay. Yeah. And I had people in my life that they heard what I had to say, and they didn't say, well, gosh, I would never have thought that of you. They didn't say that. What they said was, I get it. And I was like, that's it? And they go, yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I feel like the Staples commercial. That was easy.
Yeah.
Next.
Right.
All right. Well, let me tell you about this thing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about that thing. And they're like, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Me too. It's like, and there are people listening right now who are scared to death to cop to one of their symptoms.
Yep.
They're scared to, and it's keeping them in bondage. It's the secret. It's the fear. And most of that stuff, you know what? 99.9% of the stuff I was scared to death would happen did not happen, Roger. Now, I had some stuff that happened.
Right.
Sure. Most of it did not. And maybe even should have, but it did not.
Well, and the other thing is in the context of recovered, when we together share about these things, we just sit there and go like this. I get you. I understand
Yeah.
you. I am you. And
Yeah.
people think no one's going to like us or we're going to be shunned.
Right.
It's not in our context. We just like, yeah, brother,
Right.
I get it. I'm just, yeah, me too. Really? You did that too? It's like, yeah, get over it. I'm over it. Be over it. It just,
Yeah.
and they look at you at first like with these blank stares until they start letting go.
Yeah.
And then they start going, oh. And then they start smiling. And pretty soon they're free.
In the process of discovering this stuff, I came to a place, like many of us do, where we realized that we owe some amends.
Oh, definitely.
And that's one of the fears, right? We lose people at step 4 because they're afraid to look at themselves. We lose people at step 9 because they don't want to follow through with the amends because they're afraid. Again, fear. And so, there was a couple amends that my sponsor helped walk me through, and then it was like a bird learning how to fly, and he kind of kicked me out of the nest. Okay, now you got all these other ones you need to be making, so go for it. You don't need me now. And I'm here for you if you need, but I think you'll be fine. And he was right, but it was absolutely essential. And some people say the amends process isn't for the other person; it's to set you free. I don't know. I think the other person deserves it. They deserve your amends. You did them wrong, and it is about them. They do deserve to hear that. Does it set you free? Sure. But that's as a result of it. You don't do it for the purpose of clearing your conscience. You agree or disagree?
No, I agree. I think what you said was they deserve the amends on your part, and that be true. But the fact that you did it is not it doesn't require their positive response to it. I think that's what is meant.
Yeah.
It has to do with the other person in that you wronged them, and now you're admitting it. And you're ready to make restitution or whatever is required. Right. But at that point, once you've done that, your step 9 is finished. It has nothing to do with the other person.
Correct.
So, yeah. And I always harken back to in the big book where it talks about our 4 issues really are resentment, anger, fear, and self-pity. All of our character defects are sort of traced back to those 4 issues. And when we get rid of anger, fear, resentment, and self-pity, we're free to do step 9.
Yeah.
We're free. I mean, the first person on our resentment list has to be ourselves. Because we don't like ourselves. Many of us hate ourselves. It's like, well, that's not who you are in God's eyes, so why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not you're not that person in your sponsor's eyes or in the fellowship's eyes or in the program's eyes. Right. Why do you feel that way? And they just have to get over that.
Or in God's eyes, he declares you a new creation.
Dr. Bob's one of his favorite scriptures, right? 2 Corinthians 5:17. All the old things have passed away. You are a new creature in Christ.
Yeah.
That's what he said. That's what he said to people. That's what he said to Clarence.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Because our tendency, and it's pride and ego, really.
It is pride and ego.
Isn't it? It looks like humility, but
it's not humility. It's false humility.
No, it's false humility. Yeah. I'm so terrible.
Yeah.
No, you got a big ego is what you got. You're just not that
bad,
not
so
dude.
Terrible. It's like that. That's when you and I chime up and say, well, you really did that. Well, let me tell you what I did. It's like, who cares? Who cares? That's not who. That's what we were, and what we did is not who we are, and what we do.
Right.
And if you can get them smiling and laughing, the newcomer, right?
I know, right?
They suddenly they're enjoying freedom.
Yeah.
The very stuff that kept them in bondage, and they think that it forced them to drink and escape. You're free.
My sponsor Bruce used to say, my greatest defect has become my greatest asset. And he just laughed.
Yeah.
It's a marvelous thing. Okay, so this song is called My Amends, and it's by Joe E. Fingas. Check it out.
Every single morning I wake up strong, fight the good fight, right every wrong. Gonna make up for all I've lost, pay back all I owe, no matter the cost. When I'm knocked down, I get up again. I said I'd track my past down, gonna make my amends. In the past I was selfish and cruel, drink from your glass, knock you off your stool. When your back was turned, I'd steal your last cent, make love to your wife, back out on the rent. enemies now when we used to be friends. Let me tell you how I'm gonna make my amends. I'm not saying sorry, I'm gonna make things right. Good seeds I'm sowing through the day, through the night. That's why every single morning I wake up strong, fight the good fight, right every wrong. Gonna make up for all I've lost, pay back all I owe, no matter the cost. When I'm knocked down, get up again. I'm gonna track my past down, make my amends. Might be forgiven, but you don't have to forgive. I'm glad I've been given one last chance to live. I make my last chance, my chance for redemption. I dance my last dance with pride and contention. I'm glad I found out before it's too late. If I sound strange, well, I'm telling you straight. Days go short, my time comes to an end. My final report will say I made my amends. My final report will say I made my amends. My final report will say I made my amends.
Joe E. Fingas. That guy's piano work is amazing. I really like that guy. Yeah, so moving in from uncovered to discovered to recovered, it's interesting to me how many people within the rooms of the 12 steps almost seem to want to stay sick. And I don't know if that's because they've been taught wrong, or they find a little comfort in staying in some of their misery, or what the deal is. But I got to tell you, Roger, when I learned that I could recover from the damage that was done due to all the stuff that surrounded my active addiction, dude, I was the happiest guy on earth. I'm like, really? I can literally recover my life. I can, what Dr. Alan Berger says, recovering your true self. I can actually recover who God meant me to be. I can get that back, really, and I can recover from all the crap that went on that damaged me and the other people and all that stuff. Give it to me, man. That's what I want. That's what I want. Why do you think people settle for, I'm going to always be recovering?
I don't think they understand the true purpose of steps 1 through 9. I don't think they understand that it's a spiritual issue and that they're powerless over people, places, and things. So once they identify the issue and they treat the issue, they're free. It's like sometimes I think people are so used to being in the garbage because it's warm and familiar, but they've never stepped outside on the other side to learn how great it is. When you read what God says about who we are and who we were created to be, and then we act out in our disease, if I no longer have the disease, I'm not the person I was in the disease. I am now a new creature, which is what Dr. Bob said. That's what the Bible says, and that's what God said. So if the truth is God doesn't view us as someone that's defeated, I mean, he came here to set us free. If I adopt that, why would I not be happy, joyous, and free to be outside of the man I used to be? I want nothing to do with the old Roger. I want nothing to do with him. And that's a
So
battle that goes on all the time, just because there's residual Roger running around up there, but I'm
well, we
so
live
aware
in
of
the
it.
flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live in the flesh, and
Yeah.
so I had a well-meaning person ask me, a good Christian brother of mine asked me, so you're not an alcoholic anymore? I said, no. But you got to understand something. I said the term alcoholic is no more than a medical term for me anymore.
Right.
It just simply means that I have allergic reaction to alcohol. I put it in my body, and
Right.
and bad things
It's
happen.
a physical situation.
It's just a physical ailment that I have, just like somebody that might be allergic to peanuts and they can't breathe if they eat peanuts.
Right.
But if they get stuck with the EpiPen and they get released from the hospital, they've recovered from the damage.
And they
of
don't
the
eat peanuts anymore.
They don't eat peanut. So are they not? They're still allergic to peanuts, yeah, but they're not identified by that. Because there was a time when I found in early recovery, I found my identity in I am an alcoholic. I found my identity in that, and I needed to in the beginning. I needed to uncover, right? But I'm still allergic to booze, right? But this is a new part. My flesh, my physical body is still the same, although it's slowly decaying. It's still the same, but the spiritual aspect of who I am, that has changed. That's totally new. I don't even recognize that guy anymore.
Right.
I would be hard pressed to describe him to you adequately. I was a mess, yeah, but yeah. So I don't find my identity in it.
Right.
If I'm at a 12-step function that is focuses on recovery from alcoholism, I'll introduce myself as an alcoholic. If I'm sharing, I'll make sure that people understand that I've recovered from that, because I don't want to lose half the room. But I don't find my identity in it. I'm not identified by it anymore. Where my identity is in God.
Right.
My identity is in Christ.
Right.
That's where my identity is. So we read very early on in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous the statements that all these people recovered.
Right.
That's right. That's right in the beginning, in the introduction.
It's right there. It's in the beginning of the book, and it's mentioned numerous times.
It's like when you open a medical journal for cancer, and the first page says, "This type of cancer, we have a solution for it." You know what? You're going to read more.
Right.
But why do people? Is it because they didn't read it? Or, I mean, how many people have just skimmed over that, and it's like, well, I'm all, because I know, and I've shared with you before, I have a friend that introduces himself as a crazy pothead, drunk alcoholic and who's in recovery, and I'll always be in recovery. And the guy's been clean and sober for years, but you know what? He's not recovered. If he's claiming that he's still in recovery and he's sick, maybe he's not recovered.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. It kind of makes me sad for people when I see them not understand that this new life you can have. It's just not a matter of abstinence, guys.
Well, no, if that's a symptom of the issue, it's not a matter of abstaining from the symptom.
Right.
The problem is the problem. Until you deal with the problem that drove you to medicate, it's not resolved. I mean, it says in the book, the main purpose of the program in the book is to precisely describe how we have recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body. And as a result of doing that, you address the spiritual issue.
Yep.
It's in the book.
Yeah.
It's not Roger and Monty's opinion.
Oh, you guys are big book thumpers.
No, I'm a reporter of what the book says.
So I have a friend named Juan. He says, "How would you rather be thumped?"
Yeah. I mean, you could say it 18 ways to Sunday. The bottom line is we do the steps and our life changes.
Right.
And if you don't like who you are and what's happening, what are you going to do about it? Right? When they ask the question, anything. Right?
We just got to make sure that when your AA group or your NA group or Celebrate Recovery group go floating down the river this summer, that you don't splash anybody.
Oh, I'm going to splash. but I won't do it. I won't do it in Oregon.
Not nor.
I would tell people when the next time I splash them, like in my pool, do you know that I probably could be cited in my swimming pool, even though it's not a river or lake, for splashing you? Watch this. I'm doing a big figure 4.
I hear you.
Hey, come on.
How are you going to enforce that? I could see the splash police looking at each other, going, "No, we're not doing this. We're going home."
Who would sign up for that job? I mean,
oh my gosh! All right, uncover, discover, and recover.
By the way, Monty.
Yeah.
Do you know what the initials are for splash?
Okay.
Security, splash security, splash security, SS.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Well, we're gonna get it now. Those guys are Nazis. Oh lordy. You know what? You gotta laugh. It's too funny. It's just too funny. It's just and these people wonder why nobody takes them seriously. It's like watching a bad episode of a reality show or something. It's not even reality. It's crazy. All right, listen. Our closing song is by our good friend Bryan Duncan. And it's all about, I can't even imagine how I would do this stuff without you, God. It's all about you. It's all about you. So here's Bryan with I Can't Imagine. Mm-hmm.
Smile in the darkest night, come what may. I can talk like I'm so bright, yeah, like I've seen the light in a cheap cliche. I can't imagine where I would be without you. Ooh, I can't imagine what I would do without you. I can believe what you say to me. We can do anything, and I can see what you mean to me, 'cause you bring everything. I can't imagine where I would be without you. I can't imagine what I would do without you. You're the healer I turn to, with the feelings I can't work through day by day. The one that I run to, pouring out all my heart to you, 'cause you hear me pray. I can't imagine where I would be without you. I can't imagine what I would do without you. I can believe what you say to me. We can do anything, and I can see what you mean to me, 'cause you bring everything. I can't imagine where I would be without you. I can't imagine without you.
You know, there are some artists that they sing a song and you're like, who is that? And then there are others you know right away who that is. Bryan Duncan is one of those guys, right?
Absolutely.
If you hear Steven Tyler sing, you go, that's Steven Tyler.
Yep.
If you're Bryan Duncan sing, you go, that's Bryan Duncan.
Yep.
Yeah, what an incredible voice. That guy just
One of my
blows
all-time
my-
favorite artists. In fact, I'm going to see
Yeah.
him on August 2nd.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, Bob Noonan, lives up in Lake Arrowhead, goes to
Yeah.
the Church of the Woods, and he's having Brian come and perform at the church on Saturday, and I'll be there.
Oh man, that is so cool.
Yeah, I love
I'm
Brian.
gonna-
I love Brian. I love that when
I
I
keep
first
telling
heard
him
him.
I'm going to call him, and he keeps going, okay. And then I keep forgetting to call. I'm going to have to call him before then. Right on. All right. So Wednesday's show is I'm going to be soloing it on the Came to Believe Recovery podcast. And we're going to be doing a quick Montyman review of steps 1 through 12. And probably maybe in a way that you haven't heard before, listeners. So stay tuned to that. And then, of course, on Friday will be Buddha Time with Tommy Buddha. He's going to bring something of positivity your way with some great music as well. So we got great shows lined up for you for all of 2025, and Lord willing, and the creek don't rise beyond that. Well, yeah, we don't want the creek to rise, especially in
No splashing.
There you go. No splashing. And then on the 21st, Butch and Cindy and Pastor Neil from the Shift Church are going to be here to talk about recovery in the park, and some visions that the Shift Church has for the recovery community coming up. Some interesting things, and how the body of Christ is getting more and more involved with the recovery community here in the Willamette Valley, and how you can do that in your home as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We have Butch and Cindy back here, and Jenny, Butch's wife too. I think she'll probably be here. We have them here usually the day before or the week before the Recovery in the Park event. So once again, it'll be the 11th year of Recovery in the Park here in the Willamette Valley. So be looking forward to that. All right, Roger, thank you so much, buddy.
My pleasure. What a blessing.
Hey, everybody. Until our next broadcast, this is the Monty Man along with Roger McDiarmid and the rest of the Take 12 Recovery Radio family. And we are wishing God's perfect serenity for you.
Don't let the weights of the past keep you down. There's a melody here to turn it around. In each story and song you'll find a friend, a chorus of courage that'll never end.
This has been a broadcast of Take 12 Recovery Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
Kitty, 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 kitty.
This has been a Chicken and a Pig production.